Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rainbows coming with a no mold concrete garden gnome you have asked for. If you'd like to make him, boop, stick around. As always, please like this video so I know you're here crafting with me. Now, I'm just going to be honest and say you need to wait till the end and I'll show you my hot mess first try. But this cutie is 10 inches tall and he's totally customizable. We're going to need some concrete, water, a bucket for mixing, a glass jar, I would definitely say a good size box of foil, your hot glue gun, and a plate. So I'm just going to secure the top of a pickle jar, which will become the bottom of our gnome. And then I'm going to really compact a nice big ball. That's going to go on the top of our jar and act as the base for our hat. So kind of like the fill on the inside of our hat. And then we're gonna take another piece of tin foil. Like really for the first couple of minutes of this, it's gonna be about tin foil. You are gonna need a good portion, but it goes really quickly. So once you have that base, you're just going to start building out. Now I will say this skinny little cute hat here, no, it's gonna get a lot bigger because what's going to happen is it needs to be able to be packed down so well to support the concrete so nothing shifts. Okay, so I'm just going to start building this up, so I'm going to speed this up. But you can see here, I'm building it up in sections and hot gluing each of these foil pieces on. So again, on the hat brim, on the body of the hat, and on the little part I'm curling at the top. I did create a nice dense ball for the nose, and then I also started creating bits for the beard. Now, I chose to put a bit like this big foil piece here against the glass so that my concrete and other pieces of foil would have something really sturdy to stick to. And then I started rolling these really dense worms of foil, little wormies. Don't they look like worms to me? Could be because I'm thinking of the garden. But anyway, I just put these all over the beard. And then once I built out that beard, I added some more. So I kept building it and making sure it was all secure and really pressed down. Again, these are really compact pieces of foil. Then I go back to the hat. So I start creating a brim, and I'll tell you just straight up, the most of the brim was created with the actual concrete. I just wanted a guide here. So I'll do a couple of layers here again. You can see how dense I'm trying to make these things. And then again, just gluing them on when I like where it's placed. I was just worried that the concrete would not be the bottom wouldn't be as easily seen when I started the concrete. Speaking of the concrete, we're gonna put some in a cup, and then I'm gonna realize, no, I'm gonna need a bit more than that. So I'll put some more in a cup. Then I'm going to add water at a little bit at a time. Now I used this adorable little dowel for about a hot minute till I realized, nay, it's not gonna work. Grab your hands. Get in there. Maybe if you used a paint stick, it would work a little better, but hey, I have rubber gloves, which I abandon later on, you'll see. So when I have a mix that is it's not drippy, but it's still very, ready? It's very moist. I know some people hate that word, but it's kind of this nice dense mixture, not dry, but it's, I'm just going to be placing it all over. So I'm pressing it into the foil. I'm pressing it into the glass. I'm not doing the beard yet, and you'll see, like, you'll have to press it in, and I have to get a little tool to use that. The tool is, by the way, my fingers, or that dowel sitting in the water, or a paintbrush. But you're going to need something to sort of make sure you can define the beard pieces a little more. So I'm speeding this all up because it is, again, it's more pressing the concrete than anything else. Okay, so once I have this base all made, I have to mix up some more concrete, as you can see. And then I'll begin just sort of smoothing everything out and getting into the detail with the beard. And just as an FYI, don't add too much water because it all starts sliding around. Again, I'll show you my fabulous first try in a minute. All right, so I'm mixing up a little more concrete here. And so you can see I'm pressing it. So what it's looking like, you see it's not getting into all the little crevices I made. And so I know at this point I'm going to have to start using something to try and do it because my thick rubber gloves are not letting me get in here. All right, I know, yeah, so I made this note because at this point it looks like a blob, and it doesn't matter what size you make or how you make it, with arms, without arms. It's always gonna look like a blob at this point because we can't define it yet until we get the layer of concrete on. Again, this is all wet. You can see it's wet, right? So I'm now defining and sculpting that beard part. Sorry, I couldn't hold it in my hand and do that, so that's why we're at a top-down angle. But I'm gonna take off my gloves because, oh, it gets so much easier when you're just using your hands. So for the second bit of concrete, I did a little less moisture, and that allowed me to roll like little snakes that I could press into to make the brim of the hat, to make the wrinkles in the front of the hat. It just made it a lot easier to work with. Now, once I have that, I'm using this paintbrush to sort of make any creases or define these creases just a little bit more. I'm using a tiny bit of water, or I'm just cleaning it off. Again, you don't want it to be too wet. I messed with it for about 10 minutes and then waited 18 hours until it all set, and this is what I came up with. I could have done a better job at smoothing it, yes, but I'm gonna play with a little bit of paint after I sand it here. I used just a fine grit sandpaper and then wiped everything down. I got out acrylic paints. They do have outdoor acrylic paints, but I just sealed mine. And I took a minute to paint the beard white. Now I know this looks white, and it kind of is, but I just wanted more definition. So I just want to give you a tip about painting. Look at where the sun would hit everything so it doesn't look all brand new and flat when you're painting. And I chose to use 3 different depths of paint. And so all I did was just add white, and that's how it came up with. But I end up adding a little different blue, but you can see how I'm using that top piece and all the way down the front side of that hat to add the lighter colors around the brim and around that back edge. My hat goes all the way down almost to the ground. I'm using the darker colors. So it's just giving it a little bit of depth. And again, I'm no painter, okay? So if I can do this, you can do this. So here I am just messing around. I'm gonna add, again on this side, I'm gonna add the lighter colors to sort of brighten all of that up. Make it look a little worn and weathered. And then I'm gonna take the darker of the paints and I'm going to do the body just here after I take the white and clean all this up. And then I did mix up a peach color for the nose. Obviously, you can see that it's different, but I wanted it even more so. So you can choose any color for your nose. And this is my first attempt. This is my first attempt. It's a cute little moss ball, but look at that boy. But after you get all your paint fully dry, you seal it with a UV sealant. You can just spray it on, and this is what you get. This is actually a super fun project. Let me know in the comments below. Would you try this? What do you think? As always, thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe for more crafty fun.